So it's come out that Jamal Adams, he wants a trade from the Jets, which is just terrible news for the Jets because Jamal Adams is, in my opinion, the best safety in the game. I think he's just absolutely elite. He does so many things well, and it would be a huge blow for the Jets if he leaves. And I think that he's the kind of guy where, from his perspective, he's just saying, hey, I want to get some money right here, and I don't want to get injured this season and never have a chance to get a big payday when he absolutely is worth a big payday. I mean, he's so good. Also, future Jackson, just butting in for a second, one other thing I wanted to make sure I mentioned is that I believe with this new CBA, and it's very confusing to me, so someone correct me in the comments if I'm wrong, but I believe the way it works now, I think I've reported it wrong in the past, but the way it works is that basically you can't hold out. If you hold out for a whole season, then it's like you didn't get that year. So basically, if he were to hold out, then that would mean that he doesn't get that year and he still has to play for 2 more seasons under a contract, which means that potentially the Jets could keep him for 2 more years and then franchise tag him for another 2. But also, I think that would probably be bad for business, as pretty much if there's someone playing there against their will, it's very unlikely that free agents will go there unless they get offered substantially more money to go there. But yeah, I just want to make sure I mentioned that. Back to the video. Let's just get into the film study. We'll start things off with this play. It's going to be a running play, and you can barely, if at all, see Jamal Adams on the screen. He's just on the bottom. His head's just peeking out. He's far away. He's playing free safety on this play, so he's far away from the play. So on a running play, typically you would think he's not going to have too much to do. However, that is not going to be the case. Notice how he quickly realizes what's going on, and watch how much ground he covers, and he's able to run over and make this play. I mean, if you think about it, the halfback only got 2 yards upfield, and he ran about 20 yards down to make the tackle, which kind of just, I think that play kind of encapsulates Adams as a whole, where he's a guy who reads plays very quickly. He's a very fast guy, good tackler, and more than anything, he just hustles. He gives his all out there, which is why I think he's saying, hey, I deserve to get paid. I want to get my money because I work so hard. And if it's not with the Jets, I want it to be with somebody. And of course, I'm sure the Jets would like to pay him, but it's a salary cap league, so all of that stuff factors in. Quite frankly, I mean, it is a thing where it's like if you pay a star player more money than he's worth, which is always possible, well, now it's a negative on your team, even though he is very good. Although personally, just for where I'm sitting, I mean, the contract that is currently the highest paid safety is Eddie Jackson, who's getting just under $15 million. So if he wants to be the highest paid safety, giving him $15 million, even like $17 million, I'm okay with it. I think it's fine. I think he's worth that, in my opinion. I think he's really good. He's just such a smart player, too. Like on this play, what's going to happen is that it's going to be a tight end screen. So the tight end starts off blocking an edge rusher, but then he's going to take a couple steps down. The edge rusher runs over to Mason Rudolph to try and make a tackle. Rudolph hits the tight end, and then hopefully he runs and picks up a bunch of yards. But watch what Adams is going to do in the white circle. It's almost like he's playing Madden, where watch how quickly he realizes this, and he's going to run over now. So this is almost like one of those pictures taken right before disaster things, where it's like you can see Adams sort of running by the tackle who was supposed to run up and block Adams. He didn't have time, even though he knew what the play was. He was trying to help sell the fake, and then next thing he knows, Adams has already figured out this play and has ran past him. And not just this, but Adams is also going to make an immediate tackle. And, there's not really much you can do here. When Adams has a chance to make a tackle, he's almost always going to make the tackle. He's a great tackler, and he made a great tackle right there. He really does. He makes tremendous reads as well. And then, that mixed with his physical talent, it's a thing of beauty to watch. This plays another great example where it's going to be, so they're going to have 2 receivers run out and block 2 New York Jets, one of which is Adams. Then have another receiver, he's going to take a handoff and run through the top of the screen. That's the way this play is going to work. But just watch Adams and watch how he's going to get around this block, where, receiver runs out to block him. He's going to basically just go over him, but stay on his feet somehow and run over and help make this play. Again, that's another thing he has just a tremendous way of doing is his balance. His balance is great. That's something that people don't talk about enough in football. I try to beat the drum about how important balance can be. Well, he just showed off right there how important balance can be. I don't know how many players make that play. Not very many, but Jamal Adams is one of them. He might be the only one. He might be the only guy who makes that play. And in fact, there definitely are plays where Jamal Adams is the only guy in football who makes that play. You'll see them and be like, okay, yeah, no one else other than Adams is making that play, which is why I think that he is so valuable. He's just one of those guys where you basically need like a George Kittle to counteract, or someone in that mold of like a tight end who can block very well but also can run routes. And almost sometimes you just need to have a tight end who's just going to be out there to block him when you need someone to block him, because and just play like that and just play the game with one less receiver, because he is just so tough to block if you're trying to have a receiver block him. Like, New England tried it, which did not work out very well in this play. You're going to have number 13 run over. He's going to try and block Adams. And again, watch how poorly this works out. Watch how Adams just barely even gets moved. He runs around and is able to make an immediate tackle. Quite frankly, Adams is just not, I also love his passion with the fist bump there. He's not the kind of guy you can block with a receiver. He just isn't. You have to use a tight end to block him. And now he's someone who, it's like, if you're going to try to put a tight end out there, that could give something away. It could give away that it's a running play. Whereas, if he wasn't out there, you could just try to block a safety with a receiver. It would work way better. He's just a matchup nightmare, quite frankly. And he also helps take away some of those good route running tight ends, because, he's someone who can still get around blocks from tight ends, but also now he can, cover up those tight ends. So he takes away that matchup nightmare out of the play as well, because he is so valuable. Like, watch, this play is a good example of showing his unique ability to be play big, but also play agile. You have a tight end who's going to be going up against him. He's going to be running a quick route over the middle. And so he's thinking, hey, safety against me. I got to use power. I got to create contact at the line, push him off me, create some separation. So that's what he's going to try and do here. And that's Dallas Goedert, by the way. So, pretty good guy. Also 6'5", so, that factors in as well. But watch how, so he's going to try to, make the contact here, push Adams off. And it works out okay. There is some separation right here because, hey, he's a bigger guy. So he can try to push him off to some degree. But also, it's not like he's overpowering him completely. Adams is still in the area. Adams still has a chance right here. But, this is the kind of thing where a lot of those bigger safeties, bigger defensive backs as a whole, if you can get this much separation, you're good. That's all you need to do. But the problem is that Adams is not most safeties. And watch how, even though this is a really good throw, he's still able to reach over and knock that ball away because he has such good ball skills. So it's like, again, you have a big guy who can run quickly going against Adams. So he uses his size just to try to create some separation. He does create a little bit of separation, but you're not going to be able to create that much separation using size. You just can't use size against him, which is, again, why he is so valuable. And like I said, he does have that ability to run in quickly, great ball skills to reach over like that. I also like this play. This is, a lot of people are going to kind of write this off as a nothing play, but I actually think it matters. This was late in their first matchup against the Patriots. I believe it was the first matchup. But either way, what's going to happen is that he's going to be playing deep. This is a 3rd down and 14. So New England, they're not really going to try anything too special here. They're up 23 points in the fourth quarter. They're just trying to run out the clock, basically. In fact, Tom Brady isn't even in the game right now. It's Jarrett Stidham in the game. And so they're just going to throw it to the back who's going to pick up some yards. Maybe they get in field goal range and they can kick a long field goal, but they're fine with punting as well. It's not really a big deal. Maybe he breaks 3 tackles and gets the first down, but really they don't really care too much about this. But anyways, what's going to happen right after this ball is snapped is that the second that back starts to cut in, you do notice Adams realizes this and he's going to run in himself, which typically is like, okay, well, whatever, no big deal. Again, okay, I see good hustle play by Adams, but what does it really matter? But what it matters is that Stidham misses this throw, and Adams is able to actually pick it off and return it all the way to the house for a touchdown. Again, it was a bad play from Stidham. I'm not going to say it's not, but, he put himself in position where he could take advantage of that bad throw, which matters, I think. At the end of the day, you have someone who can play really good coverage and is just, he's basically an extra linebacker out there in the running game. So I just think he has so much value, and I think he's worth a ton. I mean, he's probably the best safety in the game. And honestly, I think given the right situation, I could see it making sense for a team to give up multiple first-round picks for him, even though he is a safety. Now, I'm not saying that that's like most teams should do that. I think, but if you're one of those teams like that's trying to go all in this year, maybe you're San Francisco or Baltimore, and you want to say we're going to go all in and try to win it all this year, you could make that argument, even though it would probably put you back. But I would feel very comfortable giving up a first-round pick and paying him $17 million a year. I really would. And if I'm the Jets, I'm just paying him. I think that's an easy decision. But that's just my opinion. What do you guys think about this? I mean, again, Khalil Mack got traded for 2 first-round picks and got a much bigger contract than what Adams is paying for. I realize he's an edge rusher, not a safety. But at the same time, now the Bears have been put back pretty far because of that trade. And it could be argued that it was not a very good trade for them as well. So I see both sides. I think, but I would really, I mean, at the end of the day, you win football games by having talented football players, not by having draft picks. So who knows? Maybe the Rams will trade, even more future first-round picks for him. But I don't know. It's pretty interesting. What do you guys think? Should a team go out and trade him? And if they do, for how much? And also, when I'm saying 2 first-round picks, I'm really saying, like, the 49ers, because in theory, their first-round picks the next 2 years would be very far back. So it's almost like, it's not as big of a deal as like a team that, like the Bears, who kind of gave away a later first-round pick and then a middle first-round pick. You would ideally want it to be a team that's very good. But anyways, let me know what you guys think in the comments below. And of course, as always, thanks for watching.